If you're listening to this episode, then you've probably at least heard about herbalism. Maybe you've dabbled in the world of plant medicine, or you're just really interested in starting. This episode is for my girlies that want to start an herbal apothecary, but have little to no herbal knowledge, or the concept just feels a little overwhelming. Don't worry, ladies, I got you covered. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed by health advice, struggling to stay consistent, and craving more ease in your diet and calm in your mind? Then you are in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the Health Habit Podcast. I'm Maria, a nature-loving herbalist, science-obsessed nutrition therapy practitioner, and your guide to holistic healing. If you're ready for simple wellness solutions, nutrition tips, and mindset shifts to help you feel energized, fulfilled, and in control of your health, then brew up some tea or crack open a kombucha and let's get into it. So quick backstory, I have always been a total nerd. Like when I was in high school, there was this time that my dad literally yelled at me and said, "Stop studying and spend time with your family." Like that is how committed I was to reading textbooks. And throughout my undergraduate studies, at first, I was like, if it's not in a journal article, I'm not interested. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I was learning all of the wrong things. I got interested in holistic wellness at age 13, but I didn't have the practical tools. And when I started my nutrition program, I thought the program was going to teach me that, but it wasn't. So I started exploring outside of the box topics, and I stumbled upon herbalism. A month later, this is now 2 months before my graduation, I decided to nix my entire life plan. I was not going to become a registered dietitian, and I wanted to learn about herbalism. So immediately upon graduating, I enrolled in an online herbalism program called the Chestnut School of Herbal Medicine, and I spent over 1,000 hours learning about herbalism. And now I am so committed to incorporating plant medicine into my lives and the lives of people in my community. So this episode is specifically to teach you the practical tools that you need to incorporate herbalism, because I truly, truly believe that this is absolutely essential to maximizing our health and wellness. The first thing you need to know is a concept called herbal actions. Herbal actions are terms that herbalists use to really quickly explain how an herb can be used in the body. A big part of what I do is figuring out what one thing creates the most impact. So in terms of herbalism, the question is, what herbal actions are most important to focus on? To start your herbal apothecary, there are 4 herbal actions that are going to create the most positive impact for you. So pick one category to start with, and then select 1 or 2 herbs from that herbal action category and start experimenting with them. I would highly suggest, to help you reduce overwhelm, find a trusted herbalist such as myself, or Mountain Rose Herbs is a great online source, and use their preparation first. Figure out what plants call to you, work the best for you, and then do that for each category. And afterwards, I'm going to suggest 2 preparation styles that are the easiest to start with. That way you can then begin formulating your own herbal medicine. Herbal action number 1. Nutritive herbs. These plants are extra rich in vitamins, minerals, and micronutrients. Fun fact, a lot of herbs are actually more nutrient dense than the vegetables we buy in the grocery store. Case in point, dandelion greens. Have you guys seen that grocery stores are starting to actually sell dandelion greens? Such a beautiful example of a nutritive plant. Dandelion greens are very nutrient dense, and they also provide bitter compounds that are really helpful for digestive support. It's wild to think that so many people spend money and pollute our earth with pesticides to get rid of dandelions. They're such good medicine. But I digress. The bottom line is this. Ultimately, if we aren't consuming the nutrients and then absorbing the nutrients, we're simply not going to thrive. So if we can provide more nutritive herbs in our life, we are maximizing our health and wellness. And this is like food as medicine, shining bright like a beautiful star in the sky. My personal favorite nutritives are horsetail, chickweed, nettle, and raspberry leaf. Definitely prepare these herbs as a tea because water is perfect for extracting all of those minerals. Also, if you have it as like an herbal vinegar, amazing as well. Second category to focus on are your nervines. Nervines nourish the nervous system. And as we've touched on in other episodes, the nervous system really gets depleted in our modern day world. Stress runs rampant. We're always focused on productivity. We're jam-packing our days with plans. We need those nervines in our lives. On top of just like improving overall function of our nervous system, they also tend to be really uplifting, which is a amazing bonus. The nervines I would suggest focusing on: lemon balm, milky oats. Milky oats are number one go-to if you have a long history of fried nerves. Like if you've been running like crazy and you're just super stressed for a long time, milky oats is your best friend. This is so great for just finding your balance when it comes to the nervous system. And then Tulsi and St. John's wort. St. John's wort has a long history for its uplifting benefits. People will use it to help remedy depression. It's an amazing plant. Third category to focus on are your immune herbs. There are two classes of immune herbs: immune modulators and immune stimulants. You'll sometimes hear them called immunomodulators, immunostimulants, same thing. Immune stimulants, as you may guess, they boost immunity. They are your short-term remedies, okay? We're not going to take immune stimulants for a long amount of time. We're going to take them when we are sick, or if we've been subjected to somebody that's sick and we want to make sure it doesn't get into our system. And then your immune modulators are the long-term tonics. So we take them to slowly build the strength and functionality of our immune system. My personal favorite immune stimulants are echinacea, spilanthes, usnea lichen, and garlic. You can just eat extra garlic and you're supporting your immune system. I will say if you cook the garlic, it does lose some of those medicinal compounds. So occasionally adding raw garlic on top of your meals or adding it at the very end of the cooking process is great. I will also sometimes torture myself by eating straight cloves. It's intense, but it's an experience. And then immunomodulators, my personal favorites are ashwagandha, astragalus, and tulsi. And then the fourth and final herbal action to focus on to start your apothecary are herbal bitters and carminatives. Episode 8 dives deep into bitters and how they improve the body, help with liver support, hormone balance, skin health, all of that amazing stuff. But the bottom line, our bitters jumpstart digestion. The more efficient our digestion, the more nutrients, the better off we are. So my personal favorite bitter herbs are yellow dock, burdock, and dandelion root. And then carminatives target more of the digestive symptom side of things. They specifically help to expel extra gas from the digestive tract. So if you experience gas, bloating, and that indigestion sensation, carminatives are so helpful. My personal favorites and some of the most effective ones are fennel, lemon balm, and ginger. So that is where I would start. If I was like going back to square one and building my apothecary: bitters and carminatives, nutritive herbs, nervines, and immune supporting herbs, both immune modulators and immune stimulants. I truly believe every single family should have immune stimulants in their home. I also want to take a little bit of time and just explain a few things. So when you are picking herbal products, I would suggest do not go for products that have like 1,000,002 different herbs in them. It can be tempting to tell yourself, oh, there's so many great things with strong medicine. Honestly, less is more. I keep my formulas at a maximum of 5 herbs because when you have a whole bunch, you're diluting the medicine a bit too. So more is not necessarily better. I would pick formulas with less herbs. And then the other thing is do not stress yourself out about picking the perfect herb. Honestly, herbs, like their actions overlap so much, and there are so many different plants that you can use to remedy the same thing. So do not get worried about picking the perfect plant. Simply just pick one. If it calls to you, if you feel excited about trying the medicine, do it. Herbs are a much more gentle form of medicine compared to pharmaceuticals, so there's not as much concern for side effects. A lot of herbs are just generally supportive. So they will be helpful kind of regardless of who you are. There are some herbs that will affect how pharmaceuticals react in the body, so that's definitely something to be mindful of, but I truly don't believe it's as scary as people make it seem. I think that a lot of modern providers get nervous because herbs are so complex. There's so many compounds within plant material, so there's less of a sense of control and more of intuitive action in the body. So there's so many compounds that person A could take an herb and it helps to increase their blood pressure, and then person B takes the same herb and it decreases their blood pressure. Our bodies can kind of take what it needs, and because we've evolved alongside of plants, our bodies generally, they understand the language, if you will. And our bodies understand the language in a way that our human minds don't quite yet. So yes, there's less control. Pharmaceuticals really force our body into a specific action in a way that we can really count on. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. As long as you are not taking extremely high doses of herbs, or as long as you're not using an herb that's a little bit more finicky as far as like toxicity versus medicinal attributes, you're good. And if you are taking a really high dose or you're working with a more complex plant, if you will, just make sure that you have an experienced clinical herbalist that is there guiding you through it. And just pay attention. Herbal remedies and holistic health practices can alter your need for medications or the dosage of your medication. So talk to your provider. Make sure that your holistic provider and your doctor are in communication and that you are paying attention to how your body feels. That way you can alter your treatment plan as you need to. All right, it's summary time. How are we starting our herbal apothecary? Pick one category of herbal action. It can be bitters and carminatives, nutritive herbs, nervines, or immune herbs. Whichever one speaks to you, start there. Begin by finding a formula. It can be a single herb or up to 5-ish herbs from a trusted herbalist, and just figure out what plants call to you, which ones respond the best in your body, and you can slowly work through each of these categories. So by the end, you know exactly what plants you want to be working with, you have an idea of the formulas that work for you, and then you can start trying to make your own tea or tincture. Reminding yourself throughout the process that there is no perfect plant or perfect formula. Most plants are going to fit into multiple categories. Dandelion, for example, is a nutritive and it's also a bitter herb. So you don't need this to be stressful. Just follow your gut. Just experiment. For those of you that are interested, I'm going to quickly highlight 3 herbal remedies that I offer. So first is my Just Chill and Smile tea blend. It's an uplifting nervine remedy that also provides some carminative and immune modulating benefit. Contains lemon balm, St. John's wort, tulsi, and hawthorn. Great for heart health and opening your heart energetically. And then I have another tea blend that I call Happy Hormones, Happy Skin. It is a nutritive blend with bitter benefits. So it contains dandelion, chickweed, raspberry leaf, red clover, and ginger. Again, ginger also offers a little bit of carminative benefit. I like to put ginger in my remedies just to help bring the medicinal compounds up into the surface a little bit faster. And then I have an immune stimulating blend that contains spilanthes and echinacea. I'm going to put some extra information in the show notes so you can go read that if you'd like. And then you can also head to my website, thehealthhabit.net/shop, to check them out even further. I really hope that this demystified herbs a bit for you and got you pumped up to start your own herbal apothecary. Please let me know what herbs you start with, how the process goes for you. You can shoot me an email, join the Facebook community. I would love to hear about your journey. As a fellow plant lover, it would just bring me much, much joy. Hello, beautiful human. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something new and felt inspired or blessed. If so, please take a moment to share this with a friend who's also working to improve their health and wellness. And leave me an honest review on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to know that this podcast is helping you. Now, go get some sunshine on your skin, and I will meet you back here on Saturday morning for another episode. Bye!